You're watching NFL Daily, brought to you by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off. Trust me, your balls will thank you. We will dive deeper into that sponsor later on in the show. I'm Harrison Graham. He is Tom Downey. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Randy Gregory, could he be reinstated, Tom? This, of course, stems off of Aldon Smith being reinstated.
Yeah, we'll talk about both here for you guys. The big question in light of Smith being reinstated is, okay, is Gregory going to be next? There is no update on the reinstatement process for Gregory. However, he did apply for reinstatement after Aldon Smith did, who has now been reinstated by the NFL, and he is now eligible to participate in all those team activities, which at this point is really just virtual team meetings, Harrison, because there's no practices going on at the moment.
Yeah, so he's been reinstated. He can rejoin the team next week, again, from a virtual standpoint. Teams can't return in full capacity to their practice facilities as of now. That, of course, leads Cowboys Nation wanting to know if Randy Gregory is next in line here as he tries to get reinstated from the NFL. Look, if the Cowboys get both these guys back, if they can combine 8 to 10 sacks, I think they'd be pretty thrilled about that.
I'd say that that's a potential realistic goal here for the Dallas Cowboys in terms of getting production out of their backup defensive lineman here. You're going to have DeMarcus Lawrence as your number one guy. There's a lot of bodies right now, a lot of depth on that defensive line. I still think Tyrone Crawford's involved because they would have cut him already if he wasn't going to be. And then it becomes, okay, who becomes your key rotational guys 3 through maybe 5-ish on any given game? Aldon Smith, Dorrance Armstrong, who I'm not in love with, Bradley and Joe Jackson, Gregory as well.
As Jerry Jones would say, D-Law is the war daddy, and then it's everybody else,
exactly.
Right? Like D-Law is your guy, and then you hope the rest of the rotation can, combine for, I don't know, can the rest of the group get 15 sacks combined? I mean, I think that's
get some DTs in there too,
something you're likely looking for there as well. But for Aldon Smith specifically, remember, hasn't played in the NFL since 2015. How many sacks for him for this season? Go ahead and let us know down in the comments section. I think, Tom, you were in the 4 to 5 range.
I think that's 4.5 is a good over-under for Aldon once you remember that you're not getting 2012 Aldon Smith. If you were, it'd probably be double that at least. But he hasn't played in 5 years. You can have some hopes for him, but I think the expectations need to be lower.
Yeah, absolutely. So let us know what you guys think down below. All right, let's get into some Cam Newton rumors. Apparently, Tom, the Chargers did consider him. Anthony Lynn said that, but they decided to roll with Tyrod Taylor, draft their future in Justin Herbert, and no surprise because no one really knows what his medical situation truly is.
I was a little surprised that the Chargers came out and said that because originally they were like, nope, we're going with Tyrod or Tyrod Taylor. He's our guy. They were clearly always looking at a quarterback in the NFL draft.
Yep.
And it makes sense that they would at least discuss the quarterback spot. I know for a fact that team also discussed Tom Brady leading up to free agency and all of that. So, of course, they would consider Cam too.
If the Big C wasn't happening, which team, do you think Cam would have been signed by now? I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
And B, which team do you think would have signed him?
Chicago Bears.
Interesting. That's interesting. It wouldn't surprise me. They went the safe option if you consider trading for Nick Foles safe, but at least they know that he's healthy. You look at the depth chart here, Tom. This feels eerily similar of a couple of years ago where Tyrod's probably going to start, but unless he balls out early, Justin Herbert will probably start at some point this season, just like Baker Mayfield did in Cleveland a couple of years ago.
I thought you were going to go with Tyrod Taylor and Nathan Peterman. I was like, I don't know about that one.
Absolutely. This is not a Pete. We're not seeing 5 picks in 1/2 from Justin Herbert. I'll tell you that right now. But in an ideal world, let's say Cam Newton was on the roster. Who's the best out of these three? Type C for Cam Newton, Type T for Tyrod Taylor, Type J for Justin Herbert. I don't think you can really say Herbert because he hasn't played yet.
If the question is best for your franchise long-term, it's Herbert.
Sure.
If you're trying to win right now and compete, it's probably Cam.
Cam.
If healthy.
But if he's not healthy, it's probably Tyrod Taylor, who does have a winning record in the NFL. Let's stick with quarterbacks here. Talk about Dak Prescott. Cowboys Nation is freaking out about this one, Tom.
I am simultaneously surprised and not surprised that everyone's freaking out here when it comes to Dak and the Cowboys. Like, the report was Dak wants $45 million, not per year.
On the 5th.
But if the Cowboys give him a 5th-year option. Now, we're going to spill the beans here, and if you're a subscriber on the Cowboys Report, you should already know this because we talked about this for well over a month now. The first thought is like, wait, $45 million a year? Tom, Dak's not worth that. There's no way Dak's worth that. Look, $35 million for Russell Wilson. And then you remember 5 years ago, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL was Aaron Rodgers at 22.
Yeah.
That's where we were at.
It's called inflation.
Yeah, the cap continues to go up. Now, if you're worried about the cap not going up, that's fair. I get that. The NFL will probably borrow against future cap, so it might not double like some had thought it was going to in 2 or 3 years, but you're getting a new TV deal. That's not going to be impacted negatively. It's going to get expensive. So the key thing here is that the initial offer to the Cowboys, the most recent offer was, hey, you're going to get around $35 million. This was one possible structure that I laid out over a month ago. On a 5-year deal, $35 million per year. The figure on the right, that's what the structure looks like.
Yep.
Dak wanted a 4-year deal. That's what the structure looks like. Do the math on the left, guys. What is the number if the 4-year deal structure becomes 5?
It goes up to 45.
We did it. This should not be difficult.
And
that's what it looks like. So we'll get that up here. Like 45, that's the next number. Dak wants the 4-year deal because he wants to re-enter the market when the cap's gone up, the TV deals come in. He wants the 4-year extension like other quarterbacks have gotten.
And
it's natural.
Here's the reality. I'm not going to say $45 million 5 years from now is going to be cheap, but it won't be the most expensive in the league. I'll tell you that right now.
You're exactly right. Here's the process the Cowboys need to approach this with. What is the cost going to be for a quarterback 5 years from now? Is it 45 for a franchise guy? If the answer is yes, well, then you pay Dak. You do the 5-year structure. If you think the answer is no, then just give him the 4-year deal because you'll save money in the end.
I have a counter proposal, and I literally just thought of this. If the Cowboys, for whatever reason, aren't 100% sold on Dak, which they keep saying they are, but a contract hasn't happened, why not just sign him to a super big 3-year deal?
He'd do it?
Yeah, he would do it because you get to hit the market again. And, hey, doesn't work out, you're out from him in 2023.
See, the Cowboys are convinced on Dak. They're just trying to save money, which is the problem because all they've done is cost themselves money in the past year. They've already lost the negotiation.
Yep.
There's no way to win it now. Now it's a matter of trying to save what you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Dak Prescott a franchise quarterback? Why for yes and for no? The answer is definitely yes.
It's yes.
Like, now, if you want to say, is he a top 5 quarterback, that's obviously different. But to me, there's 12 to 16 franchise quarterbacks in the NFL, and Dak's one of them.
I think that's fair, and I think it's almost a zero-sum game because it's so difficult to win consistently in the NFL without a franchise guy. Like, ask the Bears. Ask the Jags. They went from being in the AFC Championship game to blowing up the roster because they didn't have a quarterback. If you have the quarterback, pay him, and then hope you draft well enough to figure out the rest later.
So get those answers in. Y for yes, in for no. Let's talk about James Conner and a looming suspension. A couple of interesting angles here, Tom. Obviously, Conner played his college ball at Pitt. Local kid there, wants to stay in the area. The reality is, I think Pittsburgh long-term doesn't view him as a workhorse Le'Veon Bell type.
I agree.
He could hit the market, probably make a little more money elsewhere, but does he want to stay, take a little less, maybe take a little bit less of a role as well and stick with the Steelers? He says he's Pittsburgh through and through.
And maybe if he takes less, Pittsburgh could reevaluate their plan, but, and this is mostly me speculating, but I think Pittsburgh is doing what I want NFL teams to do. Just take a back in like the 3rd or 4th round every single year.
Have him for 4 years
They
and
did it
move
with
on.
Anthony McFarland in 2020, 2019 Benny Smith. No, they didn't take one in 2018. James Conner in 2017. I think that's a good path to go.
Yeah.
And Conner regressed this year. Now, the entire offense regressed because the quarterback play was absolutely horrible.
Yep.
But if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm not going to make James Conner a high-paid back. He's good, but it is a lot easier to replace running backs than it is almost any other position in the NFL.
He's kind of in that Melvin Gordon, maybe slightly worse range of he's a good back, he's a starter, but you're not going to break the bank for him. Like, he's just not that dynamic. Again, he's a good player. I like him. He's, especially good in short yardage, but there's only a handful of guys right now, if that, that you're saying, okay, we're going to give this guy north of $12 million per year. James Conner is not one of them. Good back, but he's not special. Would you extend James Conner type 1 for yes, type 2 for no? If the money's right, sure.
Yeah, of course.
But not for not for anything more than, what, $5-6 million per year?
I'd want to get him under the Melvin Gordon deal, which was about $7 million per year.
2 for 16, right?
Yeah, which was a weird deal that the Broncos paid him that much money, but then it's only 2 years, so I guess it's fine.
2 years, $12 million?
In terms of the limited side. Like, I do that. I think Connor would probably want more, but I think the way the NFL is trending is they're not going to want to pay backs big money. That's a potential concern for running backs in general, which is why if I'm a player like Alvin Kamara, if I'm a player like Joe Mixon, and I am one of those top 10 backs, I'm going to hold out.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to do.
You have to, because 5-10 years from now, running backs might not be getting paid anymore. That's the reality of that. All right, guys, we need your help. First of all, thanks to the 181,000 of you that have already subscribed. If you haven't, though, we're trying to get to 200,000 by what? Week 1, before the season starts? I think maybe even before preseason. Help us get there. Share that link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We greatly appreciate it. We've been growing the channel like crazy, so go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. If you haven't already, got videos going up every time. We need your help to reach our next goal, and that is 200,000. Here we go again, Tom. You're going to be triggered. You're going to be triggered. Taysom Hill, according to Jay Glazer, he's a bigger Lamar Jackson.
We got to stop it, guys.
He's the
all right?
future.
We have to stop this. This is getting absurd. How can you say that Taysom Hill, of 15 career passes, including the postseason, is a bigger Lamar Jackson? Come on, guys. No. This isn't only setting up unrealistic expectations for Taysom Hill, and it's not just flat out wrong. It's that it's frankly disrespectful to Lamar Jackson to think that Taysom Hill, who hasn't been involved in the passing game, and when he was at BYU, sucked throwing the football, but let's be honest here.
Yes.
He's just a bigger Lamar Jackson. That's just wrong.
He's only thrown 15 passes and he's completed, 42% of them or whatever. I think he's 6 or 7 for 15 in his career. Guys, he's not a quarterback.
He's a good player. He's a good football player.
He's valuable, absolutely.
And the things that Taysom Hill does well, the things that allow Taysom Hill to be a part of your everyday game plan, getting some wildcat snaps, playing a lot on special teams, using him as a tight end, running back, receiver, hybrid. Those go away the second you make him a full-time starter.
You know what?
It's gone.
You know what Taysom Hill is? He's what Tim Tebow should have been if his ego wasn't too big.
Exactly.
That's exactly who he is, a guy that can play 7 different positions, can help you on special teams, and occasionally on a trick play, throw the football as well. That's his role. And, guys, he's, 30 now? 29 or 30?
He's 29.
It's not like he's 24 and he's still developing.
Turns 30 before the season begins. He's a fun gadget player. You can do some fun things with him. If anyone could find a way to have Taysom Hill be the starting quarterback and, heck, maybe even win close to 10 games, probably Sean Payton.
Yep.
He ain't winning you. He's not a franchise guy. He's not your future when he's already 30 with 15 career passes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Totally,
it doesn't.
Totally agree. Taysom Hill's not a franchise quarterback. He's a gadget player. And quite frankly, 2 years and $21 million is an overpay. Even as much as what you just said is true, how valuable he is, he ain't worth $10+ million per year.
What they more or less did was did the Jacoby Brissett extension.
Yep.
Where okay, we're going to give you a hybrid franchise tag deal here to help make this work out in the end.
Yeah, fair enough. Jay Glazer, way off here. That's total disrespect to Lamar Jackson. He is not going to be the next franchise quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. What's not a bad deal is manscaped.com. Tom, tell our folks about the perfect package here.
20% off if you go to manscaped.com/chat. You don't just get the Lawnmower 3.0. You get some nice ball toner, ball deodorant. Will help make you feel a little bit more fresh down there. And this is not hyperbole, by far the most comfortable underwear that I own. That's just a nice little bonus there. It's the perfect package, manscaped.com/chat, 20% off. Your balls will end up thanking you, and your significant other will as well. You don't have to take my word for it. You can ask my wife. She's a big fan of Manscaped as well.
Also, you get the travel bag there. It all fits in there when you go on vacations. Probably not right now, but, once we start traveling again, it all goes in there. It's the perfect package. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get that 20% off with promo code chat. Hey, secret here, if you go to /chat, the promo code's already entered for you. You get it for 20% off. Is Taysom Hill a starting caliber quarterback, type S for starter, type B for backup, type A for he's an athlete? That's what I say because that's what he is. I shouldn't see any S's in the comments.
I think we might see a couple S's in there. I wouldn't be too surprised by that one.
Is Jay Glazer watching?
I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will find out. S for starter, B for backup. Me and Tom are on the same page here. Fun athlete type of player, but not a starter or definitely not a franchise quarterback in the NFL.